In all of the problems that we've done so far this week with right triangle trig, we have always known the angle, and we've used the calculator to find the measure of a missing side. Okay, today what you're going to do is actually use the calculator to find the angle when we know two sides. Okay, so first of all, let's make sure that you understand that we're going to be using a different feature on the calculator. Okay, so if I type in, let's see here, if I type in, hold on one second, okay, if I type in the sine of 64 degrees, okay, in the calculator, sine of 64. Okay, so let me make sure I'm in the correct mode over here. Okay, so sine of 64, this is what we've been doing all week. Sine of 64 degrees, we type it in and we get 0.8987. Okay, but what if I know this number over here, the value of the trig function, and I want to find the angle measure? Okay, in that case, we use what's called the inverse trig function. So this is the inverse sine button with the -1 next to it, the inverse cosine and inverse tangent. Okay, so even on the blue calculators, they don't have their own button, but you can see that they're up above the sine, cosine, and tangent, so that means you have to hit the second button before you do that. Okay, so if I know that the sine of some angle is 0.8987, and I want to figure out what the angle is, then I hit second sine 0.8987. Okay, and I get approximately 64 degrees. Okay, we're always going to round to the nearest whole number, so this is 63.9877, so we'll round that to 64. Okay, so you can see that over here, when I knew the angle was 64 degrees, I just would do sine of 64, and it gives me the 0.8987. If I don't know the angle, then I do second sine. So in my calculator, I type second sine to get the sine with the -1, 0.8987, and that gives me the 64 degrees. Okay, so let's try these three down here. The cosine of some angle is 0.8746. Okay, so I have to hit the second button. Okay, this one's cosine. And then I type in the number. Okay, so on my calculator screen, it's going to look like cosine with the -1, and then I type in 0.8746. Okay, so let's see what we get. Cosine, make sure you're trying this on your own calculator so that you can do these in a minute when I give you questions to answer. Okay, second cosine, so there we have the -1, we know we're in the right spot, 0.8746, hit enter, round to the nearest whole number, so this is going to be 29 degrees. And you can check it, because if I do cosine of 29 degrees, it should equal 0.8746. Sometimes it might be slightly off because of rounding, but it should be really, really close. Okay, number 2. We want to know what angle has a tangent equal to 1.6003. So we hit second tangent. It's going to have the tangent with a -1, inverse tangent, and then we type in 1.6003. Okay, 1.6003, hit enter, round to the nearest whole number, so that's 57.999. We'll round that to 58 degrees. Okay, last one. Sine of some angle equals 0.2079. So we're going to hit second sine, 0.2079. Make sure you have the -1 up there by it for inverse. Hit enter, round to the nearest whole number, so that's almost 12. That's going to be 12 degrees. Okay, you try the two below before you go on to the next page, and then you'll have another short video to watch and a couple more problems to try.